What's up, Miniatures Paintbrush Legion? This is Rob, your host, and welcome to Propainted. So often, we as miniature painters are scrolling through the interwebs for inspiration and come across a piece that impresses us so much that we share it with others and even joke on how we're going to break our brushes because of the amazing work that was done. And then we move on. But who are these artists behind the amazing work? This is why I created this series, to honor the people behind the art. Today we travel to Varese, Italy, where we meet up with Alessando Gobbi. Let's get to it. First, thank you for doing this. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you.
It's my pleasure.
You are an amazing artist, and everyone should know who you are. If they haven't seen your work already, a lot of people in the miniature hobby, they look at Facebook and they look at Instagram and they see, wow, this is amazing art, but they don't know the person behind the art. And that's what I want to do. I want to get exposure to as many people, as many artists as possible in our wonderful hobby. So let's start off with this one. If you were to introduce yourself to America, to the world, what would you consider yourself as?
I do this for myself to enjoy the painting process, to enjoy the final result. But at the end, for me, it's just an hobby. So there are many real pro painters. I'm not in this category. I am an hobbyist. But I used channels like Instagram or Facebook, and I see that my creation really like a lot to the people. But okay, I started many years ago. So I started, first of all, with the classical model kits, like when I was young, I painted the airplanes. I created dioramas, but classical, like ships, spaceship. Okay, but recently, from 2008. I started painting miniatures. So for me, now I'm 52 years old. So quite a lot. But yes, I have a solid base from this work. And now, recently, more or less, with this miniature beautiful world. But I'm an hobbyist, not a professional.
So what words would you use to describe your painting style?
Okay, my style, exactly. I simply describe, because before starting model kits, I always draw and paint on canvas. So I have a solid base in this artistic world. So my painting style, I think, is near to this world. So when I paint a miniature, I want to. It's like a painting on a canvas for me. For example, my non-metallic metal techniques really is full of texture, full of reflection, shadows. So is a style more similar to classical art
That's
from
amazing.
okay.
That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. So you do a lot of layering and like the classical style of art, which really reads
Yeah.
interesting. Because back with the masters, They did not have metallic paint. Everything was non-metallic metal. That's how you painted reflections. You knew where the shadows or the values of light. You
Yeah,
knew where to put it, and you purposely put that in. So I beg to differ. I know this is your hobby, but I see you as a professional if you're doing classical painting on miniatures. Okay,
oh, thank you.
of course. So I know every time I enter a show, even more than winning awards, I seek out feedback from other artists. I want to say, well, what could I have done differently? What am I going to work on next? So, what was the best piece of advice you have ever been given when it comes to painting to improve?
But in reality, because I started painting miniature recently, okay, and really I have no interaction with other artists. Maybe I'm alone, okay. So there are some initial idea, okay. I take inspiration from others, but I have no really direct advice from the others. I try to inspire, I try to replicate maybe at the beginning some artists. For example, at the beginning, I remember Darren Latham,
Mm-hmm.
okay, when I remember a number on White Dwarf with his sanguineous
Oh
miniature.
yes, yes.
Okay, this was really the direct point where I want to start my non-metallic technique.
Oh yeah.
So the advice I take from the article, but not from a real person, because these events, okay, Golden Demon, for example,
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was in 2008, okay, in Italy, it was in Modena, was for 4 years, okay. So with this some Italian painter, of course, I spoke, etc. But mm, at the end of this Golden Demon, for example, Monte San Savino, I never or never participated to Monte San Savino. In other events. So my participation to the events is really poor. I think three, four Golden Demon in total, and the other events are in near Varese in I don't remember the place, but local area
Okay.
here, but not Monte San Savino or other relevant places. So it's okay. There are some channels I remember at the beginning and was good to learn and have some advice from others. Was some Facebook, no Facebook, yes, Facebook groups like Pennelli in Fuga was a group from Italians painters, and this was good for to have advice. So in these groups, online groups, yes, some some advice I received, some initial advice. Okay, but normally my process was by always by myself to and take inspiration, take some advice maybe from the others, but not with an interaction. Sorry for my English,
No,
man.
you're fine. Please don't apologize. But that's amazing that you pushed yourself through this because so many artists, they get the feedback from other painters. I know Banshee or other artists in
Yeah,
Spain, they have Big Child Creatives. They're groups of artists that
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
together and they get feedback to grow. But you
Also
did this all on your own. That's pretty
in
impressive.
Italy, yes. Also here, some Facebook group before with some forum. I remember the forum from Farabi, but was really at the beginning of my painting miniature career. So yes, but when I entered in this world, I always learned by reading some articles and some little interaction with small group of people. But I remember the steps I made in always by myself, okay, because I try to put my style. So there is maybe some advice. Maybe I remember with the Pisarskis, I made a course just 3 days, just to learn from the master. But I never change my style in this because a different approach from my non-metallic metal is just for curiosity. I tried to learn some, but some advice I received from him.
Nice. So, which of your painted miniatures is your favorite or means the most to you? Is there one that really stands out?
Okay, for sure. Okay, Moratti from Games Workshop.
Oh, yes.
Moratti because when I participated to Golden Demon in Germany,
Mhm.
I won gold with this.
Oh,
So this
nice.
for me this means a lot. Of course, also the Night Castor because I won silver. So
Yes.
when you receive the prize, the miniature mean a lot. But for sure, my first miniature painted was Lord Zufur, Lord Zufur from Forge World,
Okay.
my first miniature. So this is a particular. But okay, Moratti. If I have to choose, Moratti is the
And it
means a
is.
lot.
It is
Yeah,
gorgeous. It is gorgeous. You did an amazing job with that.
thank
Um,
you.
yes. So, is that Golden Demon your biggest achievement?
Yes, yes. The
Yeah,
biggest achievement was this. Yes.
absolutely. I only dream of.
Okay, I remember. Sorry. Also, because I think the effort I made in this was really a lot of hours. Really, the Lord Executioner was
Oh,
for
yes.
me.
That's a gorgeous
Also good.
piece. That's a
Yes.
gorgeous piece. So, where do you paint? Do you paint at home or do you have your own studio, art studio?
No, at home for
Mhm.
sure because I'm not a professional painter, as I said. And okay, I have a lot of box, a lot of model kits. So my camera, my studio, because sometimes I work also at home for my job, real job, is
Mhm.
full of these model kits. So the future for me is to a better place. I think my Italian word is mansarda.
Okay.
Mansarda means il tetto, sottotetto.
Okay.
Mm,
Architect.
do you understand?
Mhm.
Is a place when I want to convert in my studio
Okay.
for this
Yes.
hobby.
Yes.
For I think in 3 4 months will be ready. So
Nice. That's
that
wonderful.
is it.
It's always
Yeah.
nice to have your own space that you can just come and escape from every
Yeah.
day. So, if you are going to sit down to paint, I know there are some times where I'll sit down and I have these very, very intense lighting, and I'll start at night and then I won't. I won't get up, and then it's the morning and I didn't realize I'm 12 hours and my back hurts and I have to take a break. And I just get into, because once you start something, well, I could just add this, and you think, oh, I could just add this, and I could, and it just keeps going. So when you begin your painting session, is there a way that you organize your painting sessions, like dedicate certain time, or how do you approach it when you go to paint?
Okay, I have the weekend. In
Mm.
the weekend, the Saturday and Sunday morning, always 3 hours. Okay, three
Okay.
hours Sunday, 3 hours Saturday. During and stop during the week, sometimes in the night. Okay, and Saturday and Sunday night for sure. And I'm not in the night. It happens what happened to you. So I check the hour and okay, I have to stop because tomorrow is Monday and I have to, to go to work.
Mhm.
And okay, the Sunday and Saturday morning, 3 hours fixed. The other variable, but the problem is what you said. And there's no organization. There's no. I listen to music, heavy metal, because I
Oh,
love heavy
nice.
metal, but also other progressive
Mhm.
metal or Pink Floyd or other hard rock.
That's my generation, Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
There.
I love Deep Purple,
Yeah.
etc. So I listen to music, and the hours go away in a minute
Oh
because
yes.
when I check the time, it's always late.
So, in your experience from your painting journey, which is the most difficult techniques for you to master? Was it
Hmm.
eyes, skin,
Yeah,
blending?
yeah.
Yes.
I think the face, because in a miniature, the face is the main point, main focus point. So I think this is because involve not only one technique, because the eyes, okay, you have to paint the eyes, but how you paint the eyes to realize the final result, to have a dramatic or an expression, but also involve the skin. Of course, everything is put on except the metals. Okay, but I think the face is the most difficult
Yes, definitely.
because there are very small details also, like the eyes, but the teeth. If you have to do um, so, the wrinkle. If you have to replicate,
Mhm.
so there are many things you can put inside in the face. So I think the face is the main focus of a miniature.
Oh
So
yes, absolutely. It gives that
because you can
readability.
paint the perfect metallic with no metallic techniques, for example, but at the end you have to look at the face, to look at the model. What is the main focus?
Yeah, I've seen your work with the Stormcast Eternal, and both of them are absolutely gorgeous. And the female is like
Yeah.
almost exactly like the cover of the book, and it
Yeah, yeah,
is, I
yeah.
mean,
Thank you, thank you. The Industra is really
bellissimo.
a really big project for me because not yet completed, and I have to do a lot also. The face was I want to replicate the face from the art book. I want to replicate the art book.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mm, take the original face and put aside, and because this hobby um, is not only a paint. You have to also maybe sculpt, or you have to customize. You have to create scenes. So there is a lot in this world. So okay, the painting style is artistic, but the funnest for me, I think, also customize with Industra, for example. I really liked a lot to create the base, but also to create the Industra real pose from the art book.
Yes.
Was also these lighting effects. I really like the final. The final result is really cool. So
I was curious, what did you use for, was that wire?
yes, this is the uh, ma- a mix. Is a
Okay.
mix from wire, but also I put also hairs from a brush, from an old brush.
Oh, wow.
If you look at the Stormax, Bastian Cartalos, Sebastian Cartalos, was with the hairs from a brush. With the hairs from a brush, you have really thin, line. You
Yes.
can maybe you can change the shape with the hands
Okay.
and try to connect one hair with another with the super glue and create a structure that is a really resistant structure, different from metals, because metal, when you have so thin metal,
Mhm.
the risk is that you broke the metal.
Oh, yes.
The airs from a brush, no,
Never.
they never is perfect for this structure, and also to enforce the structure with the metal. Industra is a mix, so you have metals, but also airs from a brush to create a structure that you can maybe touch, but
That's amazing. Yeah, I feel transported. I feel like I'm there. I can feel the energy from the lightning. Like I can feel it. It reads very well.
thank you, because it's not finished. So I have to complete the back and also the lighting from the start. There are many things to connect, and you have at the end you see industrial flying, really flying, because there is one point I place in the wing, in the right wing, uh, with not wire, chiodo come si dice?
Um,
Chiodo,
Kyoto,
uh,
yeah.
just a metal. I created the curve.
Okay.
Okay, I will place this inside. I will place green stuff to hide the metal piece,
Hmm.
but the metal piece is really hard, so it can attach it to the wing. You have the industrial below the foot. You don't have nothing.
Yes.
The effect is like really the so I by looking at the art book, you see at the top left corner, you see the wing with a piece of tentacle
Yes.
that so exactly, but this piece of tentacle, thank you to the box art, I can put exactly in the same place, and this is the main point that you have to sollevare the model. Okay,
No,
sorry,
it's
but
okay. Yeah, no,
if
it
you understand,
flows. You
uh,
def
after the lighting start from this point also, up, go through um, also
underneath.
davanti, front and back. So you have the separation of the
Oh,
lighting.
wow.
So also the back,
Wow.
below. So you have the stability also of the model kit, the model.
Yeah. That's
So
amazing. I didn't realize it went all
when
the way
I
through.
marriage, when will we be marriage with the base?
Yes.
it was it will be solid,
Yes.
solid and stable, stable.
Wow.
And we have also this lighting up in front and on back, and
That's
connect on the
amazing.
back. Below in the base, you already see maybe the a tentacle
Oh,
broken,
yes.
broken. In the middle, there is the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
On
Yes,
my
it's
bench,
scrolling through.
yes,
Yes.
this is the back of the lighting.
I
Okay,
love it. I love it.
and I will place also the disruption of this tentacle in some little point. I will connect also to give the idea of the broken tentacle
Hmm.
below, but also on top, because on top I have to hide also the place where is attached.
Yes.
So you will see it will be perfect to see.
Yes. I do not doubt that. Now, when it comes to paint, do you use ever use non-acrylic paint? Do you work with oil paints, or is this all acrylic?
Mainly acrylic,
Hmm.
okay, but I tried also oils. I made two experiments with the big models. When I have to create a small one like a 28 millimeter, I use acrylic. Okay, always. When I have to paint something big, I use maybe oils at the beginning. Okay, at the beginning to create very fast blend to blend because they are perfect to blend.
Yes.
So you can create a really fast the effects that you want, and then I proceed to spray some because I used the oils, but special oils. They are water mixable.
Soluble. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so I can mix also with acrylic if I want, but I always spray with the airbrush to create more uniformity or the oil come si dicono si asciugano the time spent
Oh, yes.
to you have to wait
The dry
until
time.
but if you spray with some
Here.
shadow some come si chiamano okay I don't know the name but you accelerate the process
Right.
to and continue with the acrylic maybe with this oils particular oils because normally if you use traditional oils maybe you start with acrylic and then finish with the oils, okay, to retouch. Maybe I also use oils at the end maybe if I want to emphasize some points maybe with white it's something maybe I can put the oils. But recently I discovered this water-based, water mixable oils.
Right.
They are perfect to start with this and finish with acrylics, maybe.
So, what tips or advice would you give someone just starting into the hobby?
Okay, tips. May just a suggestion to start. Okay, the main objective is to enjoy the painting process.
Yeah.
For me, for example, when I paint, because I started with the classical true metallic metal, then switched to non-metallic metal. But I prefer non-metallic metal because for me is like a mantra. So when I paint in non-metallic metal, the time goes away, and it's for me painting miniatures is like yeah mantra and for my enjoy for my pleasure.
Yes.
So the main point is for yourself, paint for yourself first, and then okay, for sure I use Facebook, Instagram, etc., to have immediate feedback. What because it's really nice to have feedback, to have comments. This give you the force to go forward, etc. The energy, but but it is not the main point, because if tomorrow I close Instagram, for example,
Right.
I will always continue to paint, or also to create models, diorama, because this is my hobby. This is for me is for my mental health.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I use for this mainly, because my life is divided in main job, which is because I'm a Java programmer. I'm
Okay.
an engineer, software engineer.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, I always spend a lot of time in with my activity is a brain intensive. Okay,
Yeah.
so when I switch in the hobby, I
Yes.
relax, because I
Let
listen
it all
music,
go.
and go something that I have not to put too many brain, too many. Is not brain intensive. Okay,
Right.
is natural for me, uh, and really is a pleasure to do. So the main is enjoy the painting process, enjoy the final result. These two objective.
Have you ever done a commission on painting? Because I wod definitely love a
Yes.
piece, one of your work in my cabinet to display.
uh, sometimes someone contact me via Instagram or Facebook and ask me to sell one of my piece,
Mhm.
for example. But when I say the price, for example, because I don't want to sell
Mm.
something with the lower price,
Yeah.
because it's
No.
not my objective to
Right.
sell. So there are really s- small, uh, just I think three, they bought my, they bought, I sold some Nargle miniature.
Oh, yes.
So, I saw also the one commission was a bust from. Mm, do you remember the butcher? There is a big bust from. I don't remember the name. Sorry, I
No,
am
it's okay.
five, 52 years old.
Um,
I don't remember the names, but I sold a bust.
nice.
Was so this was really a commission. Okay, but I accept commission because okay, the price was agreed together and was good. I decided to do something in this way, but at my best always. So at the end, the price was also lower than
Mm.
the time spent. But I tried. But let me say that commission is not my objective. So maybe painting squadrons. No, it's not my objective, because I really have a good job.
Yes.
I gain very well, so I don't want to spend a lot of hours to paint something that I sell for
Yeah. Not enough.
not
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I I did the same once. I painted something to the best of my ability and I put it on eBay and I got a fraction of what I would get. And it broke my heart, but I already committed that I was going to sell it. So it left and
Okay.
I
No,
regret
no,
it.
no. I prefer to have the miniature inside my box, inside my collection.
Yes. Have you? I know you painted Games Workshop miniatures. Have you ever played the wargaming? Have you ever got into the hobby that way?
I never played because from the beginning, because I the first time in 2008, my brother-in-law, okay, showed me the GV miniatures. I simply started with this, but never played. He played. He played at the beginning. He tried to involve in playing, but I say that from the beginning, no, I want to paint. Stop.
Do you have any other creative hobbies as well? I know you paint and create miniatures, but do you do something else?
Yeah, other creative hobby. I never stopped to create classical model kits like airplanes or ships. I love ships. I
Mm.
really love ships. I collect many ships from World War II, but also very old ships. This is my always hobby. It's not so the main hobby. Okay, if you put together, this is the main hobby. If you divide, okay, you have miniatures because my Instagram is more or less only miniatures. But I have also the other side, which is the classical side. I love true metallic metal, for example. In this world, I love also spaceships, Star Wars. So I have a lot of boxes. So okay, and also my hobby is also listen to music because I really have fun from many heavy metal group. I always be updated on this world because I when I paint I listen music. So I know a lot of in this world in music.
Do you have a favorite band?
Yes, there are a lot because I love. Recently, I love really Ginger.
Okay.
Ginger, for me, they are fantastic. But my favorite all the time, because I also have a tattoo in this. I can show you.
Oh wow.
You should understand, maybe.
Is that Sepultura? No.
Okay, sorry. You see,
Oh, yeah, I see. Which is this one? I don't.
Dream Theater.
Oh, okay.
I love
I have to check
this
that out.
band. This is my favorite.
Yeah.
Because from the beginning I listened to them and I love. But I appreciate also classical Iron Maiden,
Hmm.
Black Sabbath. As I said, all the in the 70s,
Yes.
Deep Purple, Black Sabbath. There are a lot. Pink Floyd for sure.
Yes.
Dire Straits, for example. I love it. I love that. But okay, heavy metal also extreme heavy metal. I love this kind of, as I say, the black metal, black
Mm.
metal, but with melodic sessions, with melodic parts, symphonic parts. I
Symphonic.
love Epica, for example, not
Oh,
black
Epica.
metal.
Yes.
Epica, I love
Yes, I
them.
love Epica.
Epica,
Yes,
a lot, a lot.
I have their album from Budapest. It's a great concert.
Dimmu Borgir,
Yeah.
Dimmu Borgir, black metal symphonic. I love them.
Yes.
Uh, there are a lot of bands I love. My
So
favorite all the time, okay, progressive Dream Theater for sure because
so getting back to the painting a little bit. So when you choose a color scheme, how do you choose a color scheme? What process do you use?
okay. Normally when I start to paint to decide the color scheme,
Mm.
I look at the box art, okay,
Okay.
because this is the first impression. And then from the box art, maybe sometimes I do this process. I try to change something, but not so many. For example, Bastian Cartalos, okay, I see more gold from the original. Uh, so this is my process, normal process for little miniature inspired by the box art,
Nice.
because I don't want to change a lot from the original, because they belongs to a real background. So if you paint a Stormcast,
Yes.
if you paint it in a completely different color scheme, you change completely the background from this miniature.
Oh yeah, there is lore.
So my process for this little Stormcast or Warhammer 40K is to start from the box art and try to imagine to how to change to improve the. So this is the main process. But of course, when I start, for example, uh, the biggest Rospoli, okay, the biggest creature I painted. I was like a demon's big demon. I completely started from scratch the color scheme. I decided to paint as I prefer. So normally depends if you want to create something from scratch. You are free to change and what do you want. But if you paint a miniature in already belonging to a world, I try to change small details, something, not completely change the color scheme.
Yeah, I do. I do a lot of similar to that. I read the world that they're in, and I try to match the feeling of the paint. Like, do I do vibrant or do I do more dull or muted colors with a couple of pops? So it just really does. It does depend on that. And I am with you. I usually go and then I add my own touches, my own flavor, my own painting style to whatever the piece is. So how do you start a new piece? Like, what inspires you? What really gets you passionate? What is it? Is there something about it?
Okay, simply when sometimes happen that Games Workshop show um, uh, a little movie on a new miniature. When
Okay.
I see this, okay, I want it.
That's great.
I want it, and I buy it immediately, and maybe start with this immediately after, or maybe it happens something in the social media that everybody paint this Stormcast,
Hmm.
and okay, I want to paint also
Oh
to
yeah.
do better, maybe.
Warhammer community. Yeah.
For example, the last time when I started and not yet finished, not yet completed, was the custodian.
Okay.
The Because I
Yes.
never painted a custodian.
Hmm.
Okay, and when I heard about Henry Cavill, he paint
Yes. He loves
custodian.
custodians.
Okay, I decided to paint custodian. Okay, I want to try. And
Hmm.
effectively, they are really nice because full of details.
Hmm.
I really love them. But my first custodian, I painted just now. So social media in general, or art books also, because in Dastra, when I saw the art book, I really in love with the art book, and I decided to start with this project. So the books, the art book, the movie that Games Workshop sometimes, and the social media all together influenced me in starting a new project. But happen frequently that every week I want to check something and start, because my problem is also to start always new project.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
this
Hobby
is
ADD. Yes, I know.
this is a real problem because
Oh, yes. I know too many people who do that. I am the opposite. If I start one thing, I will not stop until it's done. I started a project 3 years ago and I'm still working on that one project. Like it has been an obsession, but I have an entire battle force, an entire army of that one thing, all because I said to myself, I am not good at painting white. So I am going to paint 100 miniatures in white to make sure that I understand the values, the shadows, and
okay,
everything. Yes, yes, that's how I
it's
attack
really
it.
difficult to paint
Uh,
white. The one.
I am stubborn like that. I
That's
start
it.
something, I have to finish it, and that's why I have so many boxes of unopened miniatures.
Okay.
Oh goodness. So, so how long have you been painting?
Okay, because now I'm 52 years old, but um, from 2008 I started painting miniatures.
Yes,
Before, from the beginning, when I was younger, really, maybe from 8
yes.
years old, I started model kits, classical. So I started with a solid base
Mhm.
from this world, from painting on canvas, drawing, and but to, from 2008, really, with my brother-in-law, showed me the first miniatures from Forge World,
Mhm.
because they show me all the things from Forge World. So I decided to start this. So
So standardly, how long does it take you to complete like a 32 millimeter miniature?
this is a big question because if I because in the past, of course, I made many miniatures with a level of details, basic level. Okay, so at the beginning, maybe 1 week, I created a miniature. Okay, uh, but during year after years, I always improved and complicated the project behind. So there's no okay. If I start and I have to paint in a classical, with maybe with true metallic metal or something, I think in 1 week you can paint a miniature. I can paint a miniature. If I have to do in non-metallic metal, it's different because I have to put and maybe 1 month.
Yes, yes. Yes. The piece that I did at the Nova Open, it took me 6 months, but yeah,
Yeah, it
yes.
depends on the project behind. Because, for
Yes,
example, Indastra, I don't know when I started, but there is a lot to do. Okay, I
yes.
think I will complete maybe in 3 months, maybe.
So, I know you're on Instagram and Facebook. Are there any other kind of social medias that you're into that you'd like to share with the community?
No, no,
Mhm.
only Instagram, the main one, Instagram,
Yes.
and Facebook. But Facebook is just because I started Facebook with my personal account. So now I already fulfilled the number of friends. So follow me on Instagram.
Yes.
Uh, this is the only one.
And I am lucky that I got onto the Facebook and I am one of your friends. I am lucky that I
Okay.
reached out because you are truly an inspiration. Well,
Thank you.
thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing with the community. And how to pronounce Alessandro Gobbi? Is that it?
Alessandro Gobbi, sì.
Alessandro Gobbi. Oh, okay, yes, I got it right.
Alessandro Gobbi.
Yes. Amazing painter. And if you have not seen his work, you need to see his work. It is refreshing. It is definitely, if you're into layering, the smooth blends are out of this world.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. So there you have it. A big thank you to Alessandro Gobbi for spending some time with us today. A big shout out to Valentina Nicastro, who runs a blog called My Italian Diaries, for providing the lovely pictures of Varese, Italy. If you wish to connect with Alessandro or Valentina, there are links to their socials down in the description below. If you have not done so already, consider subscribing for more content. Paint intentionally to improve a skill, and may your backlog get ever smaller.